All right, we're live. Another father-son podcast. I raced the caveman's corner background to figure out how to do it. It's Father's Day. I'm here with Forrest with a smiley face. How you doing, kid?
Good. How are you? Happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much, man. I am doing pretty well. Um, it was a long day. It was the first Father's Day I didn't have my dad here for, So, um, like it was really special to me that you spent so much time with me today. We disc golf. You bought me some books. Uh, you wrote in a cursive on your bookmark, which I could barely read. But I think it's more that I'm blind than your bad writing. But it's really cool to me. And you bought me books that reminded us of the times growing up, man. Like the way we used to write stories about fantasy and stuff. And man, it was really heartfelt. And then you cooked me my favorite meal. You made me some steak, some mushrooms, some sauce. It was awesome. Then we talked about history and your life and school, and that was awesome. And we played disc golf, and I still beat you at disc golf. It was like the only thing I still beat you at. And then you beat me in Madden, even though my guy fumbled. It was ridiculous. He should not fumble there. I was definitely ground cause fumble. So I lost Madden by 3. And we're doing this podcast. I appreciate you coming out to do this podcast with me. And like it's just been a great day. It's been an emotional day for me, but really good. I really appreciate you, and I wanted to have you on so we have this for all time, and let you know that I love you so much, man.
Yeah. Um, people people always complain about my handwriting these days, but no, I've been writing a lot lately, so it kind of reminded me of like where the writing thing came from because I've liked to write for a long time, and so um, thinking back, that was a big part I think of why I write so much today. Even though I write different stuff, not so much stories anymore, but um, yeah, it's definitely a big part of you know me becoming that, and then all that other
Yeah,
stuff is the same
I
thing,
love.
history and
Oh,
all
I'm
that.
sorry. That was the worst pause of all time. I'm looking for the other 20 questions though I wrote down like a year ago to do this
Oh,
podcast. I don't know
oh
what
God.
I had them in there. I don't know what it is. I want to do the 20. We did 20 questions when you were in like I don't know. Eighth grade. It was the eighth grade is probably the last time I had you on a podcast. And I don't know.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and I asked you 20 questions. I wrote them all down. I was going to ask you again now that it's like 4 years later. But dude, you're a senior. You're graduating. How does that feel? What does it feel like to graduate high school? I don't even remember. Like back when I went to high school, they were just making electricity, so I don't really remember like how you feel.
I mean, honestly, it's a little. It still hasn't hit. Well, because I'll explain. But at my school, even though I go to a public school, we end school at the 13th, so we get a month that other kids don't get, where we go out into the community and we do service learning instead of learning in school because we finish our exams. So it was kind of weird. I had a last day, but and I said bye to all my teachers, and I hung out with my friends, and we sort of went for our last day. But my real last day of school is my last day at the service learning place, and so it hasn't really hit me yet. So I'm kind of nervous for graduation. I don't know what I'll be like that day. But it's kind of
Uh,
scary, to be honest.
I think if you're anything like you were with track, it'll be amazing. That thing that you wrote for track. So I don't know if people are your friends on Instagram or not, but anyone that's Forrest's friend on Instagram, if you check up his write up on the track thing, I don't know if that's a poem or just a short. I don't know how you describe it, but the writing was amazing.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna come at some point. I was gonna have to. I usually make a post at the end of track every year, sort of as part of the celebrating what I did, and obviously for the likes. But
Uh-huh.
I'd been thinking about it for a long time about what I. This is a funny angle about what
Um,
I.
Sorry, I can't find the 20 questions thing I wrote. I don't know. I had it here for like a year. It's been sitting here uh, since last year when you graduated 11th grade. I don't know where to
Yeah,
put it.
but I'd been thinking about that for a long time, and I wanted to make it sort of special because I realized that track and field, it hasn't been my whole life. Otherwise, I probably would be getting ready to go D1, and I'd be committed athletically to UB too. But I realized that track and field has been with me through a lot of the major things in high school, and it's sort of like it's led me to a lot of the relationships and a lot of the places and things that I've done, really more than anything else I've done at school. And besides just loving the sport, I love all the things that it's brought me, and I'm really grateful for that. And it really helped me grow as a person to have that. So I wanted to make it special, and I really missed some of those guys towards the end of the slideshow from the years past. So I wanted to make it special, and I wanted to give it a tribute. Sort of, I mean, it's not exactly like what Kobe did for basketball, but I think when you're with a sport that much, it starts to mean more than just sport.
I think everyone that's played their sport understands that. I know what you mean because I did that for wrestling, and I know what it meant to me when I graduated. What it meant about wrestling, and when wrestling was over, like it was earlier in track and field too. It seemed like the year was already over. You know what I mean? It's like a mid-season sport too. So there's
Right.
still like all summer sports, and like once that was over, it was like man, like whole reason to go to school is kind of over. At least
Yeah.
you had an indoor track and an outdoor track, and man, I'm
Right.
so glad I got to see you this year. I wanted to make sure that I took the time to come out and make a lot more of your meets for senior year. Um, it's been difficult because we've been kind of torn apart. Like I've been running the gym, and obviously I leave for work before you get up in the morning. And I come home from the gym when you're already in bed, and I really miss you. And
Yeah.
it was great for me to be able to put the gym just a little bit on the back burner, not far enough where like people are affected by it, but like I'm gonna be late today. I'm gonna make sure I make time to get out to Forest's track meet, or like I can't
Yeah.
do it today. We got sectionals, and um, I'm glad I'm in a spot at work where I was able to take off, so I could come watch you run on Friday and then see you again on Saturday. Like it was really important to me that I made those events, and I was really happy I was able to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad because when I'm actually racing, sometimes it's hard to hear the crowd. I'm so dead tired at the end of that 400, but it is really nice to be able to, finish my race and come up, or before my race when I'm warming up, I can look to the crowd, and it's nice to have that. But
Yeah.
those last 100 meters, those are
Mhm.
brutal. So, so I usually hear mom before I get there, and then once I'm there, it's just, ugh.
Yeah,
Mom's a great cheerleader. She's the best. She's
mom is
been with me forever.
yeah, mom is the best. She was always there for me when I competed in fighting as well, and that's a voice that you clearly come to recognize that is behind you,
Yeah.
and she's
The
definitely
team
a good
loves her.
cheerleader. Yeah, uh-huh. She's she's probably the wildest fan that you'll ever have, but it's good to have in your corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Um, man, I got so many things. What are you looking forward to most about going to college? So, for everyone that doesn't know, Forrest graduated from City Honors, or he didn't grad, but he's going to graduate, right? You didn't fail anything, did you?
Nope.
Good. I don't have to choke.
Hey,
I'm legally allowed to choke you on Father's Day, so if you fail, I get to choke you today.
I pushed through to the end. I was making sure my grades were, because my ninth grade was bad. That COVID year was bad. I had to make up for it.
Well,
Couldn't let the
so
senioritis come in.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute too. But I'm so proud of you. And what are you looking most forward to? You're gonna go to UB Honors. What are you
Yeah.
most looking forward to? Getting out of the house or starting a new school?
Honestly, it sounds kind of silly, but I'm kind of excited that I don't have to go to school 7 hours every day. I'm hoping, I don't know exactly how my classes are going to work out, but I'm kind of looking forward to having that time. Like, I get out of class and I don't have another class for a little bit. I can be out of class and the sun can still be out when it's wintertime. It's kind of scary, but also kind of exciting to realize more and more as I get closer to actually going there, the autonomy that I'll have to set up my day. But not being forced to wake up at 6:30 every day or earlier is be nice.
6:30 every day. I don't hear you moving around at 6:30 most days. I hear your alarm going off, and I hear it going.
Sometimes it gets a little tiring. You gotta hit the snooze a couple times for your inner peace.
Yeah, I know. I know there's some days when I'm still sleeping, and you walk right by me. I'm like, oh, I should leave now. I'm awake.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You're gonna be a teacher, so I'm pretty sure everyone that ever watches is gonna know that you're gonna be a teacher. But what drove you to want to be a teacher?
Well, what really happened is I knew I liked history, but I also knew that history and English are degrees famous for, like, oh, you're never gonna get a job with that. Have fun being a barista. But then I thought about, like, what jobs can I get? And with a history degree, which I was pretty sure I wanted to pursue for a while now, with a history degree, am I too high?
No, you're great.
Oh, okay.
I was still looking for that. I have a lot of questions I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I don't. It's so hard to get you on the podcast. I don't want to not ask you, but I'm not ask you probably. I'm not well prepped for this. I had to. Forrest played me, and Destiny wrote. We were always writing. Yeah, that's all. Destiny.
Yeah.
I have two graduates. Destiny graduated from Buff State. Forrest is graduating from City Honors, going to UB. Congratulations, Destiny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So English and history degrees, like, oh, have fun being a barista. So I kind of started to think a couple years ago, like, what do I really want to do? And I actually decided, maybe this is a bad thing, but I really thought I'd be very interested in teaching a while ago, because I taught with you and I was teaching those classes with the kids. And then I thought about it some more, like, what do I want to do? And, I was like, maybe I could be a teacher, because I've been doing, been like a co-coach basically. And then I thought about it some more, and I'm like, yeah, as I've gone through the grades, I've realized that I think about how I could teach the class better, like what I would fix. And it sounds kind of crazy because, like, the audacity, but
that doesn't sound crazy at all. That sounds like how people fix things.
Yeah, I always thought about, like, what is this teacher doing that's not working for me? Or, like, what would I do to make this better? Because this really sucks. And then I realized sort of that I kind of have a passion for, teaching people. And I realized that I had been thinking about teaching for a long time. And then also, I mean, I've known that I wanted to be a teacher, this whole year, but I've sort of, I don't want to give myself too much credit, but being an older kid on these teams and then being, one of the people that takes it more seriously, I feel like I've sort of filled a bit of a mentor or like team captain role. And that's been really fun too, because I've always thought that, the captain, I've had some really good captains, but, they're very, at my school, you're a student athlete before you're an athlete student. But I've really had a lot of fun trying to bridge the gap between the younger kids and the older kids and the boys and the girls. And I think that I really enjoy seeing those people grow. And even though it's not like a direct teaching role, I really enjoyed that. And I think I've just discovered more and more that I want to be a teacher. And the history part goes along with it really well, because history teachers are always the best teachers.
It's a fun subject because we get to talk about, like, everything that happened in the past. And it's about people, it's about sociology, it's about how people get together, it's about history, it's about life events, it's about patterns. It's everything put into one. I really enjoy history too, especially as I got older.
I've also really been inspired by some of my teachers. Like my 10th grade AP Lang teacher was really great, and my 11th grade AP US teacher is really great. And I realized that those teachers, the exam is sort of secondary, right? They're really good teachers and they'll make sure you get a good grade on the exam. But beyond that, they're concerned, like, to them, the curriculum is secondary. Like, they enjoy their subject area. And if you enjoy it and you want to talk to them about it, they'll do that. But they want to make sure that everybody succeeds. And it's more about, like, what skills they can impart on us that really, will go past the class beyond getting a grade on the exam. And they really cared about their students. And that's sort of what I noticed made them such good teachers to me. And I really think that, I would rather be in that spot and do my very best, because I think that's where I can succeed, than somebody who, teaching is a job famous for, oh, I have an English degree, now what do I do? And, I think those people can be good teachers too, but I think that it's important that people that have a passion for it are in it.
I think that you're a great teacher. I want you to leave indelible marks on all the students that you helped me coach, whether it was at Western New York or at Integrity. I know like it sucked for you to help me come set up the mats every class and come out there and you're already tired by the time class starts and you're dealing with kids and you're making like not much money per class. And you came out and you left a mark on kids that they never forget. They still ask about you today. And that's
shout out, by the way, all my students.
Yeah, shout out to all the students. If you've been coached by Forrest, that means you're one of the OGs. It means you're probably pretty good. Mai came back. Niall came back. Matt Jr. came back. Dakota came back. Crouton's back all the time. I can't get rid of him. He's like some kind of disease. Oh my God, what's her name? The little skinny dent. Oh my God, I forgot her name. I apologize. She came back in. She's like a real small girl. I can't think of her name.
It's really interesting.
Go ahead.
It's really interesting too because like I remember when it was the OGs when I was still trading. Like I was always the youngest, so it's kind of funny because those kids are really, I mean, they're my peers, but like Maya and Crouton especially being a little bit older. Yeah. Rather like Niall, Matt, and Dakota are all just 1 year, but Maya and Crouton being a couple of years older, they were almost like older cousin or family friends pretty much, because it was really it was really a brotherhood, a sisterhood like that, and in some ways they're sort of my teacher, maybe not in class but in life.
Matt Jr. is a Marine now, and
oh my God, they're also old.
Yeah,
I'm holding on to my youth over here.
Maya's in Dr. Kroll's class, so she's got to look out. She's a Dr. Kroll student now. Passing along. She's like, my student, Dr. Kroll student, going down the line. Pretty good.
Yeah.
What did you draw?
Oh, also.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I just wanted to mention this. Also, Nishon. I run into Nishon all the time during track.
Track.
I did run into Nishon all the time during track.
Yeah, I invited him cool. to come to the when Matt came in. Oh my God, I just ripped my sweater.
The professional podcasting here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ripping my sweater off. I just ripped it all off. I'm sorry.
We're professionals. We're professionals.
Yeah, it's so hot in here. I need to take this off. I'm dying. Forrest in his pajama pants, just so you know. He just can't see his bottoms. He's less more professional than me. What kind of mark did growing up in the gym leave on you?
That's something I don't think I don't think this is something I've really fully figured out myself. Like, it's very interesting because I don't think I had a very orthodox and very normal childhood. Like everybody has their things that happen in their childhood, but like, I don't think too many people grew up in I dropped my phone. I don't think too many people grew up in a fighting gym. So I don't know. I think that kids class is definitely something that left a real positive mark on me. Like, I really grew up with those kids in a lot of ways, and we don't always speak, but there's something that I think if you get us all in a room again, I'm sure the memories and all that will come pouring out. Like, that's something that I think I will have with those people until I die, and I'm very happy about that. And I really think that it helped me grow up, because back in the days when there was a little bit less supervision, there was enough supervision for us not to get hurt. And there was enough supervision to, if there's ever a conflict, which not too often, but, we'd solve it. But a lot of it was us solving it between each other and us figuring it out ourselves. And even though we were young and there wasn't too much to figure out, like those hours waiting for you guys, or those hours waiting for our rides, or those hours in class really brought us together, and I think helped us learn, how to be young kids and grow up. And then, at the gym, there's something really, really raw about, a gym where people are fighting that you can't get from other places. And sometimes that comes with a lot of good, but I mean, a little bit of bad.
That went bad too. Yeah.
But like, when people have to spar and when people have to trust each other with their health and you know their ability really to live, it builds a trust that requires a lot of, you have to air things out. And sometimes that goes well and sometimes it doesn't. And seeing both sides of that, I don't think I don't think it really damaged me or anything, but it was definitely an interesting way, I learned a lot of lessons kind of quick and then very, you know, it's a display sort of that it really draws out like what's inside people. And a lot of those, not to diss not to diss the fighters, but you know, I think I could fight, right? Because I've been doing it all my life. But real like fighters are different because they're people with something inside them that they need to get out, I think. And I think being around that has definitely made me more empathetic, but also has shown me like a lot about what it means to be a person. And it's an experience that you can only get at that place or in places like it. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I'll be figuring it out for a long time. But I wouldn't change anything. I think that everything that I've gone through makes me me.
I think so too, and I think I hope it gave you the ability to always be able to stand up for yourself. Mom instills that in you too, like in her
Mhm.
way, like to verbally and emotionally stand up for yourself and
Yeah.
be strong. And it's different. So, like for female to be strong, they have to stand up and be vocal, right? But if a male's strong, we stand up and we be vocal to another male, there can be physical consequences too. It's a little bit different.
Well,
Like, yeah.
sometimes there are physical consequences both and either way, but
I mean, yeah, but you don't see, and like,
it's just more common, when
yeah,
you
you
get
don't
two
see
men
too
in a
many
room.
guys. Like, if it's a girl and a girl, like sometimes you see them fight, but if it's usually if a girl's standing up, it's standing up to a guy, and not too many guys are
Mhm.
gonna just haul off and crack a girl too often,
Yeah.
unless it's like some sort of domestic situation. But if you're out in public, there's not too many people that are gonna crack another female in the face, but there's a lot of people that would crack a dude in the face, and I'm maybe not where you are, but like when you're out in
No,
the
like
world.
it's just yeah, it was just I don't know, there was something kind of funny to me about that. Like us guys are more punchable.
We are definitely more punchable. It's a little bit more socially acceptable,
Yeah.
and like to be honest, like men are the root of a lot of violence in the world. Like like
I think it comes from sort of I thought a lot about I think a lot about this sometimes, but I think it really comes from the way that things are set up. Like the old way, which we're trying to break down, but I think that us boys have some stuff to work through and sometimes that we don't get the space to really figure that out.
yeah, some of it may be hormonal too. Like testosterone is a
Yeah, that's true.
powerful chemical that surges through our bodies. Like and changes, and then
Yeah.
like I think if a male's broken, they're more likely to be violent or physical in a way, where like broken girls tend to more self harm. Men
Yeah.
try and harm others. I don't know. That's
Well,
just
I think the one thing is that I think the one thing that I'm very glad about, being in the gym is I do feel pretty comfortable, I mean, I've never been in a real fight, but I
you've
do
been
feel
in a
more
couple real fights. To be fair,
not like I don't think I've ever had to really throw down with somebody because I'd be telling that story all the time, probably if I did. But but I do I do think it's made me a more balanced person because I've seen that and I've seen the way that people can handle things physically. But you know, I think I think I've also been very lucky to have both you and mom in my very active in my life, and it's given me a lot of balance. I think, and I think I'm very lucky to be a guy growing up here, like growing up in this world, and I've really been given the space to develop emotionally too. And you know, I think because I've had that space, I've always been a more emotional person. And I think the gym has kind of given me comfortability with that. Like I've been able to watch myself grow it, and the gym put me in a lot of the gym put me in a lot of situations where I got to practice. I got a lot of practice with dealing with conflict, with other people and with myself. Mostly in, kids class, I would get upset. And I think that having all those experiences, like it seemed like I was a bit of a crybaby then, but now I think it kind of helped me grow in that way when I was younger. And I can look back on that. And I've had a lot of time to think about sort of conflict and how I would like to handle those things, and trying to be more positive in solving those. And I think the gym plays a part in that. So that is something that I've taken away. I think that's been helpful.
I always struggle with whether I help or hurt a relationship with being in the gym with you.
Yeah.
I push you really hard when I was coaching you. I didn't expect you to be great on the mat. I tried to never push you about winning or losing or like really even being a serious competitor. What I
Yeah.
did want you to always do is be a man of your word. If you signed up for something, I wanted you to do it, like the tournaments.
Yeah.
And I was very hard on your behavior in class. Um, like I'm fairly hard, like way more hard on you than I was on any other kid.
Yeah.
And I think that it helped you be a person, but I'm not sure it helped our relationship or helped your relationship with the gym. And looking back, I wish I could have been more supportive emotionally
Yeah.
at that time, as opposed to
Right.
like just be like, whatever, you deal with it, like that's the way I was raised, and I don't know, like I thought that was the way you're supposed to raise men, and I don't know if I would change that. I would change it because emotionally, like now that I'm older and you're grown up, I wish we had more time that was loving together like that
Yeah.
instead of like training. But I think it's my job not to be your friend to make you a better person.
Yeah.
And some of the proudest moments of my life, number one, when you failed the belt test and you came back and you passed. When you walked off the mat that time, I thought you might never train again. And you coming back on the mat, like even though I never showed it, and I pretended I was like upset, I was so happy that you didn't quit and that you kept coming forward. Um, I'm going to say the proudest moment for last. The second moment I'm super proud of is the tournament in Fredonia when you didn't want to go back out, and then you went back out, and not only did you go back out, it wasn't like, oh, I gave up on myself. You went back out and you tried your very best.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very proud of you for that. I think the stupidest moment I ever said as a coach is don't tap before you went out there. And then you didn't tap and you got your shoulder hurt. That was a little bit more than I meant by not tapping, but I didn't mean for you to take it quite that serious. I just meant like tap from pressure and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for that. And I would say my proudest moment is that time that you got put in a boxing ring with that kid, and I got called away. So I won't say names right now, but somebody put you in a ring with a kid that has a lot of boxing experience. Was I think 3 years old. He's much bigger than you. He's years older than you.
Yeah.
And I came back. He's beating the bejeebus out of you. I was like, all right, this is it, and I stopped it. And you went over and you kicked him. And I was so proud of you. Like
I don't remember the part where I kick him. I remember the rest of the story, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, you went over and you were so mad you kicked him that he was beating you up and you couldn't hit. Like you were in an unfair situation over your head.
He's lucky I couldn't kick.
Yeah, you kicked him pretty good. You were unable to protect yourself. Bayo should have stopped that way earlier. I didn't mean to say his name, but he should have stopped that way earlier. I'll never forgive him for that. And then he's a black belt now in another gym. I probably shouldn't say all this online, but can't help it. I'm so mad about that.
Well, I mean, I think that all of this has come with a lot of ups and downs. But I think to me, this is, like I said, I wouldn't change any of this stuff because it makes me me. And, I think that I've been able to take it in a pretty positive way because as I think I was talking to this about somebody, but growing up in the gym and, I don't know how serious of a competitor I ever was. I kind of struggled to figure that out. But especially in jiu-jitsu, I struggled to think of how good I was, to figure out how good I was. But something that I know happened is it's really helped me develop as a competitor. And I've had to reflect a lot on that because, this year I've had my best track season ever. Like, I didn't even expect to be this fast at all. Thanks to indoor, I got a lot faster. And thanks to Coach Majewski, if he ever sees this, but he was a really great coach and helped me a lot. But something that I've really come to figure out through track is like which ways I compete best. And in thinking about that, I realized that, something that really has helped me figure out how to compete and figure out how to get into a mental state that's right for me, which is really important, I think, in track. I think track is like 90% mental, 10% what's in your legs. I think a lot of that has come from competing for a long time in my life. And I've been there and I've done that. And, I was younger, but I sort of remember, what worked for me and what didn't. And I think has made it easier for me to reflect on that now because I've had all that experience, as a young person and then older in high school. I've had a lot of experience to figure that out. And, in training, I've definitely carried some of that, don't tap and, run till you can't mentality. And I think that it has made me a better athlete. And I think me being a better athlete has helped me grow as a person. I don't think it directly correlates to me being a better person, but I learned a lot of lessons from competing athletically, whether it was when I was younger or now. So
I don't mean to interrupt you. I do think it makes you a better person. I think knowing your limits and pushing past your limits and knowing how to like guide yourself like helps you in life and everything. Physically, like running fast doesn't help you in life, but like learning how to push yourself.
I've definitely learned a lot from track. Go ahead. Like I learned scheduling from trying to get faster. I figured out how to schedule things for me and like the importance of, all right, I got to get out here. I got to write this down or else I won't do it. And I really was able to do some, scheduling is just a skill, but also like scheduling with myself. And I was able to grow a lot from that. So I definitely think you can grow a lot, not from getting better, right? You get better at basketball, you get better at basketball. But the steps that you take to get better at basketball can really, I think, make you a better person.
I'm pretty sure the last time I had you on the podcast, we talked about you putting sub 1 on everything because you were trying to get under 1 minute. And that's how long ago the last time it was that you were on the podcast. But your dedication to getting better is like amazing. It's great to watch. And like you made your goals. You PR'd at, every step of the way along the road. And watching you win that race, I was so happy for the one I posted the other day on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go check out Forrest just dusting everybody. Not enough to do the basketball walk-off layup, but he definitely.
I remember the one race I was racing against McKinley and who else? McKinley and Emerson, and I hit him with the arms out. What are you gonna do when I was in first?
Yeah, I remember watching.
Maybe that was a little much, but
I remember watching. I was like, man, he could have set his PR instead. He's like looking behind him and making faces. I really thought you could have beat your PR that race. You were running so clean that time. That was one of the few that I made. And
Well,
I'm sorry I
I
wasn't
ran
at
a very
more.
smooth race, but that was fun. Looking back, maybe it was a little much, but it was fun to me. It's my senior
Yeah.
year, whatever.
It was nice to watch. It's great to watch you do well.
Yeah,
And one other thing I didn't mention about how proud I was is the effect that you had on other people when you were coaching at Integrity and at WY, really. Um, WY was a little bit different because we came back with the pods and it was kind of stupid. And
yeah.
um,
We met a lot more people. We had people coming in and out, but
yeah, and then we went to Integrity, and those kids are forever changed by you, like Mia and Lincoln, and they love you to death. And
yeah,
it was really. So I hope you come back in someday before school starts, so everyone can see you. We'll have a forest day, and we'll bring everyone back in. Maybe
yeah.
watch Princess Bride or something.
Finally.
But he's the best. What do you mean? Oh, I've been wanting to do that in Integrity forever. Yeah, I haven't done that
Yeah,
yet. I think that would be an awesome thing.
yeah. I
It's the
think
best
I
movie
think
of
those
all
kids.
time.
Yeah, those kids. I really like those. Teaching those kids is a pleasure. It's great,
Uh,
and I think it's taught. I think it's showed. I don't know taught, but it's definitely showed me a lot about what I think is important in teaching people, and I think it's really great experience, and I'll be able to reflect on it for a long time. So I'm glad I was able to coach them, and they're all great. They're all
yeah,
great. I miss them.
I know the gym has caused a lot of problems for us personally,
Yeah,
family wise. Takes a lot of time away, but I'm really glad I got to share this with you. Um, I really didn't know my dad that well. Like I worked with him, and I didn't really grow up with him. But I hope I showed you who I am, like who I
yeah,
really am. And obviously, every person has good things, really good things, and really bad things about them. I'm temperamental. I get mad when things aren't right.
yeah,
I haven't always, treated you the best, and you see the damage that I take uh, competing in the sport.
yeah,
But I'm glad I got to share this with you, and
yeah,
I would change a lot of things. I would go back and change them, but I wouldn't change doing it with you.
yeah,
And I'm glad I gave you the best I could with the gym. I'm
yeah,
sorry I couldn't do better. Like in retrospect, knowing what I know now, I would train you different.
yeah,
And but I did the best I could at the time, and I'm glad I got to do that with you. And I'm glad we coached together. And that's some of the best times of my life when we were coaching together. Even though it was stupid putting the mats up and tearing them down, and like all the bullshit that came with it, it
yeah.
was
Well,
it was,
honestly, like in 2020 and 2021, I don't have much to do, so
yeah.
it helped to have something to do. To be honest, like um, and then obviously I took breaks for school, like
And
when school started
girlfriends.
back up. Okay, stop. I, but yeah, but when I was really doing it, when I was really coaching a lot and like helping with the mats and stuff, it was nice to have that, especially on the weekends.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, I took breaks when I needed the time to do schoolwork and whatnot. But in those early times when when we did the videos at home, we went to WNY, we did integrity, like it really helped to have something to do. And something that I've realized too is like the gym is always going to be a part of me and I can't change that. And I'm kind of glad that I can't change that because I think it makes me who I am. But I was also really glad to coach because I think it mended my relationship with the sport a lot. Like to get a chance to be on the other side and to sort of, you know, I see a little bit of myself, I think, in a lot of things. Like I could see what I would feel sometimes. But to be on the other side and to be able to coach and to be able to help other people in the sport, I think really mended my relationship with it because there's definitely a time where I had a bit of a strenuous relationship with training, and I don't, you know, I'll probably always train a little bit, hit the bag every now and then, but I think I ended my like consistent training off on, kind of a weird note. I kind of faded out of it, but jumping back in as a coach, I think really, and with you really mended my relationship with the gym. Um, and it gave me the opportunity to sort of heal that bond that I have with something that is going to be with me anyway, and I can't change that. But I'm very glad for it now because I think I have a healthy relationship with it, and I think it's really taught me a lot, and I'll always be able to pick out the good and the bad, and I think having that experience is better than not.
Awesome, man. And hopefully you still come and shoot videos with me because still need to keep the instructionals going up. We're about to do belt testing and keep posting up the old video that we shot together. And I still have the one from Muay Thai. I haven't even done it yet. It's still in this phone to do. To be honest with you, I haven't done it because I kind of miss coaching with you. Like kind of hurts to look at it sometimes. But
dude, I love Muay Thai.
Yeah, should definitely come and train every now and then. It'd be good to have you by, especially come teach. I got
Remember that?
I got this guy at Tractor Fight, and you'd like him a lot.
Remember that Thai rabbit hole I went down?
About what? Which one?
When I was watching Bukaw and all of them, all the old fights,
yeah,
fights. Dude, those guys are beasts. I don't know how they do it. They're so fun to watch.
I remember, dude. We used to watch instructionals and just watching Dominic Cruz move around.
Yeah, I was about to say. I remember watching the Dominic Cruz breakdowns, eating dinner. It's fun.
Yeah, we used to just watch videos and eat dinner. And I break down the videos while we're watching them. I commentate the fights. And now I do want to say, man, you do a great job being the runner at the K4 events. Promoter Keith Ferran, our friend Keith, he took on a walk even with his church. So always looking out for everybody. I'm just proud that you're still in the sport and you help out so much with our family and friends. And it's great to see you help Keith out like that.
Yeah, being a runner is a lot easier than all that other stuff. I just got to walk back and forth.
We do a good job keeping it going. You know how to get the people where they need to be. Man, Tom Kilkenny loves you to death. He always says that you're a great young man and you're way more well spoken than me. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I know it's
fun.
Late.
It's a little stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'm so happy to get you on here, man. I wish I could. We'll have to come. I'm gonna bring you back on because we got to do 20 questions. I want to start trying to do these with you now, especially now that you're gonna be in school. I'm not gonna see you much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll be around.
Yeah.
College is a lot less time than. Well, I mean, it's a lot more time, but also a lot less time. It starts later, ends earlier, longer breaks.
Yeah. But we always have this. This is technology. You see this little boxer? We can just point these little boxes at each other, and we can talk. And
I'm gonna have to rent out. I'm gonna have to rent out one of those I'm gonna have to book my time in one of those fancy glass study spaces.
To do my podcast? Yeah, that you definitely can do that for sure. I'm sure you can hotspot your computer off your phone. We can still make it happen somehow, or you can come back to the house.
I think it would work. It would be. We'll figure it out if we have to do that.
We'll figure it out for sure because I love doing these with you too. I know we started doing these to let Mom know, that we were still here when she was gone.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy these times because,
excuse me,
to be honest, we don't really talk. I'm not very good at talking. I'm not so bad at listening. I listen to you and I absorb what you're saying, but we don't really talk that much.
Right.
And I like this because it's an opportunity to just talk with you. And I love the man that you are, dude.
Trying my best. I'll probably mess things up here or there, but I'm trying my best.
Dude, we all mess things up. There's nothing that's irreparable as long as you as long as you're true to the person that you are inside, you'll always be great. You're the best of me and mom. You really are. And nothing's gonna stop you in the future, dude. You're unbreakable. That's what having a Chinese mom and a white dad, a fighter dad, and you know, a very tough lady and what your mom does. She you can't lose. You got 200 parents that would do anything for you.
Yeah.
And
I'm very
it
grateful
shows in
for
everything
that.
you do. Yeah. And we both love you. Thank you so much for the best Father's Day I ever had. I want to dedicate this one to Grandpa Mike. I was really missing him today, and he really made my day.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here before I get all emotional stuff.
Okay.
We don't do that
Sounds
stuff
good.
here. We
All
just when we feel emotions, we go punch stuff. That's what we
Wow.
do here.
All right. See you guys.
There's some paper over the door that proves that you do it downstairs.
Oh wow. I actually wasn't even mad. I was just goofing around and I ran into the door. I'm just big and clumsy.
You were little and clumsy then.
I don't know. I felt pretty big when the door broke.
All right, man. I love you. We're out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you are a Caveman's Corner fan, you can go back and do the trivia question. We're giving away 2 free tickets if you can answer the 4 questions. I'm not even gonna say what questions they are because it's gonna the questions are not appropriate for this podcast. But on the Caveman's Corner podcast, the questions are very appropriate. You can go back and look at those if you're interested, of course. All right, guys. Peace. I love you all. Thank you for watching Destiny. Thank you for watching everyone that watches this. And it's really not for you guys. It's really for me and Forrest and the family. We love you. Oh, your little special kid wave. I like it.
I'm the queen.
That's gonna live for. I'm gonna split that up. I'm gonna post that on all your social media. That was the biggest mistake you ever made in your whole life. All right, I love you guys. Thanks, Ilfrey. Ilfrey's a really good guy. He would love you to death too. All right, we're out.
I know Elfrey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ilfrey's
great.
super good now too. Like not only is he a great guy, like
He's always
super
super good.
Yeah,
Always took it easy on me. Thank God. I would have been dead.
Yeah, he beats me up now. He's like good. Like good. All right. Later, guys.